Today I'm going to talk about my favorite game mechanism in Kingdomino, designed by Bruno Cathala, who is also one of the designers of Yamatai, which I talked about the other day. And somewhat coincidentally, I'm talking about turn order mechanism, but I think Kingdomino puts it on a different level. It's not just turn mechanism, it's also the economy of the game. I am fascinated by open economies in games, especially with tile placement games, because tiles aren't always easy to shuffle up if they're different shapes. Or even if they are the same shape, they're kind of hard to shuffle. And depending on how, and just the idea of where you display those tiles in the economy, like how can you acquire, how many tiles do you put on the table at any given time for players to choose from, and are there any limitations as to which tiles they're eligible to buy? Like in Patchwork, you show all the tiles from the very beginning, but you're only eligible to purchase 3 at a time, depending on where this little pawn is on the giant circle of tiles. Cottage Garden has a system of which tiles you can buy from. Isle of Skye does. Castles of Magic and Ludwig does. They all have these interesting economies that limit which tiles you can buy and which tiles you can't. So Kingdomino does this integrates this with turn order in a really interesting way. So at any given time, I've drawn out an example here. I don't have the game. But at any given time, you're going to see 2 columns of tiles in Kingdomino. You're going to be taking these tiles 1 per round and putting them in your eventual 5x5 grid and scoring at the end of the game. Tiles are, and all the tiles are numbered from 1 to whatever the top number is. It might be 99, I can't remember. And in general, they get better the higher the number they are, though situationally, a low number tile could be better for you at certain times in the game. But any time in the game, you have 2 rows of two columns of tiles, and say I chose the 3 tile. When I choose this tile, because it is the highest number tile on this track, I immediately get to put my pawn on the next tile. So I'm not just choosing this one, I'm also selecting my tile for the next round. And so I'm taking the 3 and I'm putting my pawn, say, on the 25. I can choose any of these, so I choose the 25. And then the next player goes, and so on. The next player, and then these will shift over. After we've done the selection, after we've taken all of these, we'll restock the next column, and we'll do it again. So every round you're kind of choosing your tile for the next round, and the order, the higher the number, or the lower the number you choose, the higher your priority is for choosing your next round selection. I hope I explained that well. When I originally watched videos about Kingdomino, I found that really confusing, but somehow it's actually really elegant and works really streamlined in the game. Like, it's a very quick choice, and because you're only thinking ahead by 1 step, it's really easy to think ahead and make that decision, even though you're focused on where to place the tile that you've already picked. And I really like that there are only 8 tiles on the table. We were playing a 4-player game. This might be fewer in a lower player count game. You might be, I think in 3-player, I think you would only see 3 per column. But I really like that it's a very limited number of tiles that you can choose from, and that you have to balance between taking the tile maybe that you really want and going higher in turn order. So I may not really want the 3, but I may really want the 36. And so I may take the 3 to guarantee that on the that I can choose the 36. I really like that balance between optimal quality and where the tile and turn order selection in a way. And I also like the balance that this provides. So the designers had to go through the tiles at some point and determine, okay, the 3 is better than the 10, and the 10 is better than the 3, the 48 is better than the 36. So they had to number all the tiles. They've kind of integrated their value system into the value of the tiles to allow for this ordering to happen. Because each of these tiles is double-sided. You don't see the numbers on the table. You see the front of the tiles with the art that you'll be placing in your tableau. But when you randomly put the tiles on the table, you're looking at the backside, which does have the number on it. So it's just a really kind of a clean, elegant system. I'm surprised that I talked 5 minutes about this system, but I really like it, and I like this I like many tile selection systems that have this this global economy feel to them, where you can choose, but you are limited based on what you can choose. So I'd love to hear in the comments if you have kind of a global economy system involving tiles that you think is very clever, or if you have another mechanism in Kingdomino that you think is your favorite, which would be interesting because this game has like 3 mechanisms, so maybe you pick one of the other 2. I'd love to hear about that in the comments. Thanks.